if I see another frickin' advertisement on my phone interrupt this damn video, I'm going to pull out all of my hair one by one, and that is not a good look. So please, just save it till the end of this video. God! What's going on, my little bundle of chestnuts? It's your girl, Kate Winchester here, and, I promised you guys this video about what happened with Eli and I, and, spoiler alert, it was because of a damn hoe that wasn't even special needs, and just like, you know, literally, I asked all of the teachers if she really has Asperger's or whatever, and no, she's just there because of a damn math disability. I have a math disability. My best friend has a math disability. Like, there's a lot of people out there with a math disability, and they don't have what she's pretended to have, you know, like, ugh. So we're gonna call this hoe Victoria, because that sounds like a hoe name. I'm really sorry if your name is Victoria. I just have a bad experience with somebody named Victoria, and so yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to discriminate against that name. I personally have had an issue with somebody named Victoria. I'm pretty sure you're very sweet, but the experience has spoken. So anyway, pour yourself some tea and spill it on the floor, because I'm about to do that for you. No, none of the tea will be saved in your damn cup. So, this video has been interrupted so many times, so I'm just salty. So, anyway, I was in love with Eli. Like, him and I were together for, if you want to count the 2 times that we dated before and didn't break up, we were probably dating for like a whole damn school year, you know? So I already knew that I wanted to marry this person. I already knew that I wanted to have kids, and we decided that we would name our daughter Lacey and our son Gavin or something like that, you know, and we just, oh my god, it was his idea, you know, Gavin. It was his idea, and I loved it because he loved it, you know, and it was just like, we were gonna have our venue in Hawaii, our wedding venue in Hawaii, and then we were gonna go on our honeymoon to Paris, you know, like, we planned that, and all of our dating sprees, you know, like, and all of our dating fleas, like, that's literally what we decided. So, I was already telling my mom about it, and I was just like, oh, we're gonna get married one day, like, I love this person, you know, and we weren't moving it too fast at all, other than the planning phase, you know, other than the planning phase, we only kissed, like, okay, we kissed every day, but, like, we didn't start kissing until, like, 2 weeks into the 3rd relationship, because we didn't know if it was just gonna be, like, broken up, you know, so we were just kind of like, okay, we're okay, come here, you know, and just, you know, that kind of thing. But no, we didn't have sex, if that's what you're wondering. We are still virgins. Well, I don't know if he is, if he is, then, don't you wish, you know, like, man, don't you wish that you would have ignored your parents and stayed with me, you know, but, like, because we both could have lost it, you know, but, you know, hey, the eyes have it, I guess. So, so anyway, this girl, so Victoria, right, she was so fucking controlling when they were dating, and she slapped him when he broke up with her, and then she continued to stalk him. She broke up the rest of his relationships, and I was the only stubborn ass bitch that said try it. So I was the only stubborn ass bitch that said try it, bitch, like, try it, you know. I was the only one that was just like, alright, well, if you want a problem, we can have one, yeah. You know, just like, she decided to try it because, I think I told you guys this story, but, like, the rest of the whole damn story is when this happened. So, like, for those of you who didn't hear it, I'm about to tell you the damn tea. So this tea, so by the way, he gave me this jacket and I fucking loved it. I slept in this damn jacket, like literally. I fucking stripped, shirt, bra, that went off, and then my fucking panties stayed on, and I just, boom, panties, jacket, going to sleep. Like that was my pajamas, you know. That was my PJs. I was ready for bed during that time, you know. And then oh, I'm getting dressed for school. Okay, let me just take the jacket off, get dressed, and then put the damn jacket back on, you know. I never wanted to take the damn jacket off because it smelled like my boyfriend, you know. It was just like a forever hug, and I just, ladies, you know what I'm talking about, right? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it, like, and I didn't even spray perfume on the jacket. I would literally just like take the flap of the jacket and just like spread it out wide, and then just spray my shirt and then put it back on, you know. And because I still wanted it to smell like my boyfriend. And I don't know how the cologne stayed on there. I think it was maybe because him and I hugged every time we saw each other, and the cologne that he was wearing. Oh my god, I loved this part. And that's what hurts so fucking much about the whole entire damn thing. Because Victoria was always there. She was always there, but like I didn't know who she was at first. I just thought that she was just some person that coincidentally was like passing through every time we hugged and kissed and all of that. And oh my god, so one time we were sitting at lunch, you know, I'm rocking my jacket and my gold painted nails, like I wore gold nail polish with this jacket because the jacket was like white, blue, and red with a big freaking Captain America A. So I just thought that it would match with it, and it did. Like I was rocking the jeans and the sneakers and the jacket, and it wasn't even a jacket to keep me warm. I was still freezing. It was just a decorative thing, like, and it smelled like my boyfriend, so I'll take it, you know. Like I'll just go like this, you know. My stepmom was like, "That's a decorative jacket, honey. It's not gonna keep you warm." I don't care. Are you sure? Yep, I don't care. Okay, well, don't you want a blanket to wear over it? No, why not? Because all of the bitches who recognize this jacket are gonna know that I'm his girlfriend now, and they can back the shit, and they can back the fuck off. And she's like, okay, like, alrighty. So anyway, so this one day at lunch, I'm like, oh, I need to get a juice box. So him and I are sitting like this. He has his arms wrapped around me, and I'm like leaning my head on his shoulder, being adorable, you know. And Wolfie and his ex-girlfriend, and I want to get back in touch with her. Summer was sitting. You guys remember Summer? Yeah. So we were all sitting together on this big table, you know, and it's just like a double date kind of thing, you know. Like lunch was our date, you know. And so I was just like, oh, I need to get more juice. So I got up, he let me go, and we stopped being adorable for like a second, you know. And I come back, and Victoria is sitting there, and she's like, you know, oh my god, do you work out? And because Eli, bless his heart, had special needs, he didn't know how to say no to people, and I could tell that he was uncomfortable. So I'm sitting there with my juice box, and I'm so mad. I'm squeezing it, and the straw just goes and pops off. So like the straw was in the thing, and I was like drinking it on my way back, and and I take it out, and I'm like squeezing it, and then the straw goes flying, and I'm like, shit. So she's sitting there just like, oh my god, do you work out? Oh my god, I love these. And I'm just sitting there like, and then Wolfie looks at me, he goes, he mouths the words calm down, he's like, and I'm like, and then finally Summer sees me and goes, hey Victoria, he has a girlfriend. What does this bitch say? I don't see her. I was like, out of nowhere, I just said, turn around. She turns around and I'm like, now you see her. Can I have my boyfriend back, please? And she just stands up and goes, and I just kind of look at her and I'm like, do you want to do this right now? And Eli's like, babe, 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 babe. And she turns around and I'm like, not you, not you. And I just sit next to him, and then me being petty, I just grab his face and I kiss him. I'm like, mwah. And I just look at her and she goes, whatever. She flips her hair and walks away, and I'm just like, who was that? Who was that? And Summer's just like, yeah, I gotta go. Then Wolfie's like, yeah, me too. So then they get up and I'm looking at him and I'm like, who is she? Who's that? You know, and I could tell that he wasn't liking it at all. I just want to know, you know, girls, you know, I just needed to know, you know. I was just like gonna have a talk with her. Like, we weren't gonna fight or anything. We were just gonna talk. So I was like, who is she? Who is that? And he's like, okay, that's my ex-girlfriend. Her name is Victoria. She was really controlling when we were together. That's why we broke up. And she slapped me when we were together. So he told me about her, you know. And me being the protective girlfriend, I was like, well, you let me know if she comes back here. If she comes back here, you let me know. And you let her know that you are not comfortable. I understand that you're not comfortable with not being nice to people, but you need to not be nice. You need to tell her. You need to tell her. I was just like, you need to tell her, you know. And he's just like, okay, I'll tell her, I'm sorry. Bless his heart. He was too nice to tell her no. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, so, he was too nice to tell her no. So she continues to stalk us, and every time I remember trying to I think tongue is disgusting, but she didn't need to know that. So the reason why I'm saying that is because I saw her looking at us and like pouting from behind. So I was like, hey baby. And he just goes, whoa, like he wasn't expecting it. He was like, what the fuck? And I was just like, look behind you. So he looks behind him and oh my god, I've never seen this side of him before, but it was fucking hot, you know? It was so hot, oh my god. He just saunters on the way up there and he just goes, hey! And I'm just sitting there like, and Summer's like, what is he doing? And I'm like, being sexy. And I don't think he's hot anymore. Like, I know that there's somebody watching this, and I may or may not have a boyfriend, you guys. I may or may not be dating somebody now. I love you. And I'm just saying, like, how I felt during this time. So, but yeah, so he just goes up and he's like, hey, we are together now. Like, not you and I. You need to leave her alone. You need to leave us alone. And she just tries touching his shoulder. And I was like, like, I just went up there. I was like, no. And she just goes, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I just have Asperger's, and I don't know, and I don't know any better. I'm just so special, and I just, and then I felt like an asshole, so I'm like, shit. And he's like, no, she's faking. This is just for attention, you know, like, he was trying to tell me. You know, he's like, this is just for attention, like, so then the teacher comes up, like, what's going on here? And I'm like, shit. So I was just like, ma'am, I didn't mean to cause any trouble, like, I didn't mean to cause any problems. She's trying to cause problems with my boyfriend and I, and she's, you know, she just needs to know to back off, you know. And she's like, well, you could do it a lot nicer. And I was like, I agree, ma'am, I'm sorry. I let my anger get the best of me, and I'm sorry. And she goes, all right. So she takes Victoria somewhere else, and then the next day, I decided to have a little girl-to-girl talk. So I come over to her and I'm like, hey, I'm sorry about yesterday, and I understand why you would want my boyfriend. I mean, you know, I was just like, I understand why, but I'm the future, you are the past, and you fucked up when you guys were together, and if you really love him, you should, I remember the talk I had with her, I remember it word for word, I was like, if you really love him as much as you say you do, then you will understand that I make him happy. Don't you want him to be happy? And she, like, seems to, like, I thought she seemed to understand because she goes, you're right, I'm sorry, and then walked away. So I thought, cool, that's the end of it, you know? But no. In class, I get pulled by the counselor, and I'm in the counselor's office, and she's sitting there crying, and he's sitting there trying to, like, awkwardly comfort her, you know, and I just look at him like, because he's, like, having his hand on her shoulder, and he just goes, sorry. And I'm not trying to be, like, controlling, you know, I trusted him, I just didn't trust her, and I didn't want him to, like, make her think, you know, like, I didn't want him to, like, encourage her without realizing it, you know what I mean? So, I'm over here just, like, I gave him that look, and he just goes, sorry. So he stops touching her, and then she just dramatizes it even more, because he stopped touching her. And I sit in between them. I'm like, no. So I'm, like, trying to, like, signify that we're together by, like, patting his knee and rubbing his knee, you know, and just kind of, like, you know, doing that loving things that girlfriends do, you know. And he's holding my hand, and then the counselor is like, no PDAs! So can we not act like we're a couple? Okay, I'm sorry, are we Amish? Like, we weren't making out in front of you, but, like, whatever. So, so she's like, we will not have any bullying tolerated, I don't, and we're just like, what are you talking about? And then she's just like, you know, I had to tell them about how you were bullying me just because I was special needs. And I looked at the teacher and I was like, are you kidding me? Like, oh my god. So she wanted to talk to us individually, and I was like, look, ma'am, she's been harassing me and my boyfriend, and I have no idea why she would want to, you know, come at us, but I'm sick of it, and I wasn't bullying her. I was just very kindly telling her to leave me alone, like, leave us alone. And I repeated the conversation, and she goes, okay, yeah, you're a lot of things, but you're not a bully. And I was just like, I don't know how to take that, but thank you. You know, I was just like, well, thank you for believing me, but, like, what do you mean I'm a lot of things? Like, you know, I didn't know how to take it, but thank you, you know. So, then, she goes into the counselor, and she stops fake crying. Like, there's literally no tears. She's just sitting there like, like, literally there's no tears. And it's so fucking dramatic, but she's, like, sitting there like, but then, like, of course, when I look at her, she goes like this to make it look like she's, like, crying. And so she gets up and goes, and just, like, gives me a dirty look when she's in there. So I'm just like, so I'm, like, standing up, and I'm like, argh! And then he's like, no, and he's trying to comfort me. He's like, shh, it's okay, shh. And I'm like, argh! Fight me, bitch! I'm just like, oh my god. So, he has to carry me out of the office, like, literally had to carry me, and I'm still, like, flailing around. I'm like, let me at it, let me just pull her hair a little bit, you know? And just like, oh my god, like, I'm giving myself a headache, but, like, so, the point is, I tell him, I was like, you know, this needs to stop, like, I know this is ruining our relationship, and that's exactly what she wants, so, we can't go outside anymore. And we were all walking from the principal's office. We just kind of got, like, a no contact slip, like, she can't come talk to us, and we can't go talk to her, you know, so that's pretty much what took care of it. But, so we're walking, and I was like, we can't go outside anymore, you know, and I'm trying not to be controlling, and I'm repeating the story back. It sounds so fucking controlling, but, like, at the same time, I didn't want her to keep causing us drama, so, like, I felt like I had to be that person, you know what I mean? Like, I had to. So she's like, we can't go outside anymore. Like, you can't go outside anymore without me. Like, we can't go outside anymore. And he's like, wow, babe, it seems like you don't trust me. And looking right at her, like, straight in her eyes, I was like, I trust you. I don't trust that classless hoe over there. pause. Listen. And she just like, and then just walks away, and then, oh my god. So, I can be crazy, now that I'm thinking about it, like, I can be pretty crazy. But, in my defense, I really loved this person, and I was trying to do everything I could to, like, protect us, in a way. So, so prom rolls around, and he asks me out to prom. He prom-poses to me in my first hour, and just, he gets like this big ass poster that says, will you go to prom with me? And he says my adorable little pet name that he gave me, and I'm just like, I stand up and I'm like, I'm like, Eli, what are you doing here? And he goes, hey, I was just wondering if you would like to go to prom with me. And I was just like, that's a stupid question, of course, you idiot. And I ran up to him and I kissed him, and my poor teacher was just like, oh. He literally made that sound. He was like, oh, there's a hallway. We were like, sorry. Heat of the moment, you know. So I gave him a hug, and then we went outside for a little bit, and I kissed him, and he said he loved me, and I told him I loved him back. And then he went back to his class, and I went back into mine. I'm blushing, I'm holding this poster, and I'm like, yes, like, I'm somebody that loves me, you know, and just still wearing that jacket, by the way, still sporting the jacket and everything. And then, so, what caused the breakup was just like, freaking Victoria and her crew, you know, just like, not leaving us alone. I can't remember exactly what happened, but like, we went home, and he had like a landline or whatever, so I called his landline, and I'm just like, we'll get through this, okay? Like, you know, I was just like, this is what is making our relationship stronger, you know what I mean? And I had a behavioral coach that kind of helped me with the kind of behavior that I was sporting towards Victoria. I just needed anger management, you know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure if somebody was like flirting with my man, then I'd be like, hey, we're together, you know what I mean? But I already tried that with Victoria, and she wasn't, like, she knew that we were together. She was just trying to piss us off, and it worked. Like, that's what pisses me off, you know, is if I already say, hey, I'm dating this person, and then if they were like, oh, my bad, I'm so sorry, and they didn't leave us, they didn't bother us, then I would have been okay, because they genuinely didn't know. But if they did know, and they kept flirting just to piss me off, my hair's gonna go up, I'm gonna have my best friend hold my earrings, and we're gonna go at it, you know, like, you need to leave us alone, like, so, yeah, where I come from, it's just kind of like, you know, if somebody has a boyfriend or a girlfriend, you back the fuck off, and then you go find somebody else, you know, like, shoo, get away, bye, sorry, you know. If somebody, I have a boyfriend right now, and I'm pretty sure if somebody were to flirt with him, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? You know, but like, I would be polite about it at first, and then if they continued to mess with us, I'd still be like, you know, like, I would do the same thing. So anyway, he calls back 5 minutes later, and he goes, hey, I was talking to my dad, and we have to break up. And I was like, are you kidding me? And at this point, I was just like, what would Lacey do? And he goes, baby, I don't know, but we can't be together. And I was just like, what? Like, I was genuinely so hurt. I was just like, well, next time don't make a promise that you can't keep. And he was just like, okay. And then he hung up on me, and I was so pissed, you guys. I was still wearing the jacket, so I threw the jacket off of me, and I carried it up to my room, and I threw the jacket in the closet. And the poster, once my coach left, I went upstairs with some big ass scissors, and I cut up the poster until I couldn't recognize a single letter. Like, it was just pieces of paper everywhere, you know, and just, you know, like, horrible. And that jacket, it was unwearable by the time I was done with it. Like, there was, like, sleeves across the bed, and then the sleeves were cut in half, and then there was, like, literally the pieces of this jacket had to be like sewn back up in order for somebody to wear it, and I wasn't gonna sew it up. So a week later, it was like a break, it was like spring break or something, so we go back to school. I'm a wreck, I'm crying, and he's just like, you know, and I'm like, hey, can we still go to prom, because I already paid for the tickets, and you know, it was like $100 for the ticket, you know, for a couple's ticket. And he goes, I'm really sorry, but I already sold my ticket. That's what made me cry even harder, because I was like, well, how much did you sell it for? This bitch sold his ticket for $10. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, I was that pissed off. I literally screamed in his face. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And he's like, I'm sorry. I was like, that's how much our love was worth to you? Like, it still pisses me off to this day, though. I was just like, oh, I paid $100 for this, and you sold it for $10? Are you okay? Is that how much our love is worth to you? Like, I can't. You know, I was like, that's how much my Lacey egg is worth to you, and my Gavin egg is worth to you? Are you serious? Like, I was so mad. I was just like, like, oh my god, I still want to cry thinking about it, to be honest. But like, he was like, I'm sorry, and he clearly wasn't, because if you were sorry, you wouldn't have done it in the first place, you know. So I went home, and I continued to destroy the jacket and the poster, and on Hangouts he messages me. He's like, hey, can I have my jacket back? I was mad, and petty Amberlee was already in the house. Heartbroken petty Amberlee was already in the house. So I sent him a picture of the jacket, and I was like, this one? And he goes, what the hell is that? And I was like, that's your jacket. And he's just like, I gave you that jacket. And I was like, oh, so you mean I gave you my heart, and you did the same thing, and then gave it back to me? So it's pretty much the same thing, right? And he goes, no, it's not. Like, what the hell? And I was just like, I mean, it kind of is the same thing, because, like, I gave you my heart because I loved you, and then you take a hammer and a pickaxe to it, and it leaves it a jigsaw puzzle and goes, here, I don't want this anymore. And then you just, So he's like, well, I'm sorry that I had to do that. And I was like, I gave you my heart, like, literally just like, and you broke it. And he's like, well, nobody asked you to do that, though. Nobody asked you. Nobody asked you to do that, though. Yeah, well, you were the winning sperm that fertilized the egg. Nobody asked you to do that. Nobody asked you to propose to me, and you proposed to me. Nobody asked you to date a controlling ex-girlfriend that ruined our relationship, but you did it anyway. Nobody asked you to... So he was mad that I ruined his jacket, but like, oh well. I still had to pick up the pieces of me. And then just to get back at him, I sent him a Hangouts video of me literally crying myself to sleep. And I sent it to him, and then the next day at school he gave me a hug. And then, so I guess that's what that was, you know. But, you know, I sent him a video of me crying myself to sleep, like, literally just, like, but all you hear is me sobbing in my pillow until I finally fall asleep, and then, I guess in my sleep I hit send, and he was just like, I'm so sorry, and he gave me a hug. He's like, my parents told me to do it, like, I only asked them for advice because, you know, I genuinely didn't know what to do, and then they told me to break up, and then I felt bad, and then I was like, look, I'm sorry, okay, I just, you know, I loved you, and I still love you, you know. And he was like, I understand, and I'm sorry. And guess who I see at prom? The person I'm sorry, I thought you sold your prom ticket for $10, because apparently that's what our love was worth. So, I was so heartbroken. I cried 3 times, and, you know, he slow danced with me at prom, and then, left me in the middle of the dance floor because people started staring at us and he got embarrassed. So he literally left me in the dance floor in front of everyone and just humiliated me, and I started crying and ran into the girls' room like and so yeah, if you were in my house for like 2 weeks after we broke up, you would have heard me blasting Perfect by Ed Sheeran and the sound of fabric ripping and sobbing. Literally, you just come into my room and you just hear on top of Ed Sheeran's Perfect, and it was not a pretty sight. My stepmom couldn't even hug me. I just wanted to be left alone, but then at the same time I didn't. She came in, I was just like, leave me alone, and she sat on my bed and gave me a hug, and I took it. So I guess I wanted to be alone because I was embarrassed, but then I didn't want to be alone at the same time. So how am I doing now? I guess I'm just angry at the whole situation. And then one of my friends, he was on Hangouts and he was messaging my friends and he goes, yeah, I did date Amberlee, but she wasn't very nice to me or my family. And I was like, are you fucking serious? I loved his little sister. His little sister was kind of like my little sister. And I did her hair, I did her makeup, you know, and she was just like, she came to me for advice, you know. I loved his family. I apologized to his family for whatever the fuck it was I did the first 2 times, and, you know, I apologized and tried to make amends and fix it. So what do you mean I wasn't nice to you or your family? Ugh. But I'm doing okay now. I got a boyfriend. Hi, I love you. And I got an amazing best friend. Hi, I love you. And I guess I'm doing okay now. I can love again a little bit. I still haven't had the kind of love where somebody will, like, give me his jacket, but, like, in my defense, my boyfriend and I are long distance, so, yeah, but anyways, I love you guys. I'll see you all in the next video. Stay body positive. Kate Winchester out. Hasta la bye-bye, and God bless your nutty little hearts, and don't forget to go nuts.